Hi, we're back with the better version of you. Today we're joined by Doug Fairbanks. Hi, I'm Joe McCusker. Doug's going to go over some different exercises that will help us increase our vertical jump. Doug, thanks for being able to join us today. It's interesting, to me, and how people get involved in this. I know that you were an athlete. You played sports. How did you wind up getting into fitness after your athletic career, I guess? Or if you give us some background.
Yeah, I got into this career through basically a high school coach who inspired me. Who was my basketball coach in high school, inspired me to look into pursuing exercise science as a degree, and I ended up going to Springfield College and followed that passion that I had for exercise and training and so forth, and thought I was going to go into more of a physical education, coursework and a direction. And in college, I ended up getting hurt and injured myself, hurt my back as well as a knee, and was unable to continue playing sports for myself. And so that sort of started making me take a direction on injury rehab, looking into physical therapy as some other directions on top of my physical education curriculum that I was already taking. And it just sort of went from there. And then I got out of college and I started coaching and training athletes, and it sort of has spun into about 15, 16 years now of training athletes from 8, 9, 10 years old up to elite professionals that I've been lucky to work with.
Well, it's interesting. I know for me how things evolve like that, and you turn something that's difficult. I know you're an athlete that gets injured.
Sure.
It's not always. You turned it into a positive. Yeah. And are there certain specialties that you have in training and fitness in the fitness area? I know we're going to do the vertical jump, but.
Yeah, I mean, vertical jump is something I've obviously dealt with a lot being a basketball player myself, and that being a critical component in terms of your ability to elevate in basketball,
right?
Especially at 5'11", and you know this, Joe, but it takes a little bit of extra work on that area to try to get up there with the big boys. But so that sort of always had me intrigued, actually, with vertical jump ever since I was in high school. And so when I get into training it, I wouldn't say it's become like a total specialty, because as we know, all athletes need to be linearly fast and be agile and be strong as well, and some need bulk and some don't.
Right.
So there's a lot of other components, but it's definitely something that spearheaded me into a lot of analysis on the subject of how to get somebody's vertical jump up and how that correlates to somebody being a more explosive athlete, no matter what sport they play.
In being interested in getting in better physical shape and doing those kind of things, and having played basketball myself, and I always wanted to be able to dunk it. I remember that the best that I did was maybe freshman in college. I could get up over the rim, but I could just never get my hand, to palm the ball. But a lot of that was due to a lot of training. I don't know if we had focused vertical leaping training, and maybe that's what I hope that we're going to be able to do some things. And I know you mentioned a test and so forth, some other things. But
I think real quick, you just pointed it out, but a lot of the problems with a lot of young kids starting, or the problems that I even had was, and I guess it's not a problem, but we take information from everybody that gives it to us, or stuff we see on TV or in magazines, or what professionals do, and at least I did, as well as I know some kids that I've trained have done the same. But we'll take 10 different things that we hear from 10 different people and just start doing them every day, and just throwing it all in there and hoping we come up with the vertical jump that we want. And when you're young, that's not the worst thing to be doing, to experiment with all those things. And there is a process of learning all those different skills and applying a lot of things, whether it's running hills or if it's jumping up onto your picnic table in the backyard like I used to do, or jump rope for a half hour, run in the sand, do jumps in and out of the sand, jumps out of the water at the beach. All these things that I was doing that I was just getting shown from people 3, 4 years older than me who were track athletes, or a random coach I met at a camp. So it's all out there. It is a little tough though as you get further into your training, second, third, fourth year in, and not training just playing basketball training, but training on the side of basketball, whether it be weight training and so forth, where getting a better balance between all the stimuluses that you're throwing at yourself is really what takes the vertical or any kind of performance variable that you're trying to improve to another level, where you really see people like, 4 or 5 inches or 3 or 4 inch improvements, could happen over 3 months, where over the last 2 years of all this stuff thrown in, you only jumped an inch higher.